Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our admins. Strange things do happen in this world. The subject of that email, it read like this. Confession of a woman who joined the Illuminati. I am writing this with a very heavy heart, filled with guilt and regret. I am a woman who is desperate to escape poverty, and I made quite a terrible mistake. And then I joined this secret organization in search of riches and fame, but I didn't know the true cost of what I was doing. Growing up, my family and we struggled to make ends meet. We often went to bed hungry, and I vowed to do whatever it took to change our circumstances. That was when I met this other churchmate in Johannesburg, who promised me that there was an easy way. Indeed, there was an easy way out of those circumstances that I was facing. She then introduced me to a church, in brackets, a church, Brother Nashi. This church, it worshipped strange gods and promised wealth and success in return for sacrifices. I was blinded by my desire for a better life, and I agreed to join. But the truth is, I had to sacrifice my only child to make the gods happy. I can still remember the sound of her cries, the feel of her small body in my arms, and the pain of watching her go. It's a memory that haunts me each and every day, but that was not the only sacrifice that I did. I was told that I had to continue sacrificing, especially when I was still studying. They told me that this was going to be something that was going to be done each and every year, but I couldn't do it. I could not bear the thought of losing again another child, another loved one, until all of my children will be finished, wiped off from the face of the earth. This God told me that now that you are my child, and I want you to help me so that I can wipe off all of your children from the face of the earth. This God, it is one of those Canaanite gods, Brother Nashi, the ones that they used to sacrifice kids to. Everything that has been done in the past, so shall it be done again as human beings. We might think that we are different, but those people that you hear during those days when the Israelites had been sent to Canaan, when they were busy killing around all their neighbors, this was the reason. These gods, these Canaanite gods, they are very evil and wicked, for they live on the blood of human beings, and they are constantly looking for those that are foolish enough to believe in their false doctrine, because they lie and they say that God himself is also part of the fallen ones. I tried to leave, but the priest threatened me. He said if I left, the people from the dark world would come for me and I would suffer the consequences. It has been 5 years since I joined, and my life is like a living hell. I am constantly looking over my shoulder, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Strange things happen to me each and every day, Brother Nash. I wake up, sometimes when I wake up, I would feel that sometimes on my shoulder, I'll be having mysterious bands, and the pain, and my belongings keeps on disappearing. I am scared to sleep at night, knowing that the people from the dark world are watching me. So constantly, what I do is that when I go to bed, I then take my laptop and I start to browse these adult videos. At least when I am browsing these porn movies, then I know that the demons, they will free me for a while, because they will know that I am engaging in lustful thoughts, so they do not attack me. The moment that I start to think, and when I start to regret everything that I did, then those demons will be back, then they will start to attack me. I want to leave, yes, I want to leave, I want to escape, but I am trapped. I am too afraid to speak out, too afraid to seek help. That's why I am writing this to you, hoping someone will see my plea and help me. Please, if you can, help me so that I can leave this cult. I do not want to lose my life, but I can't continue living like this. I am a shell of the woman that I once was, and I am desperate to be free again. Please help me, please help me. My friend, she was the one who coerced me into sacrificing my only daughter as part of these twisted rituals. I had 2 boys and 1 girl, and I lost my daughter. And what pains me the most is that she looked like me. She was like my twin. And as I was busy sacrificing her, a thought crossed my mind, and I said, this thing that I am doing, it is more like I am actually sacrificing myself. I was told that this was necessary to appease the gods and to maintain my newfound wealth and status. The experience was traumatic, and it left me with deep emotional scars. As time have passed, my family began to notice strange occurrences and suspected that something was amiss. They couldn't quite put their finger on it, but they sensed that this woman's behavior had changed. They became distant, withdrawn, and very secretive, often disappearing for hours or even for days at a time. The family suspicions grew when they discovered that the way that my daughter passed away, it was in a very strange way. Even when we buried her, some of my friends, my new wealthy friends, they came. And when they came, I didn't think that they were going to come driving a convoy. They had their beautiful cars, Brother Nash, and everyone just got suspicious in the location. We went to the burial site and we buried my daughter. And as per our ritual, I was supposed to stay behind. My mom looked at me and she just shook her head. She asked me where I had ever seen a woman after burying her own child. She sends all of her relatives away so that she can remain behind. And I pretended as if I was traumatized by the way that my daughter had passed away. So everyone left me with my wealthy friends. But everything that we did was just suspicious. I didn't even care because right next to where my kid's grave was, there was this other family that was busy burying their own loved one. These rituals, they were done in broad daylight. I then went and I stood on top of my kid's grave and I started to do the rituals. I called her name and I told her to follow me. Then I went into the car. I felt her presence until I was taken to the temple. Oh yes, there are temples here in South Africa that belongs to these secret societies. When I was taken to one of the temple, you won't even suspect that it is a temple that belongs to the Illuminati. Just a nice mansion, a beautiful one. And when I got into that temple, there were strange symbols, artifacts, and I was given some of those ones that are still in my possession. And I was told that at my house, none of my relatives was allowed again to set foot at my place again. This was going to be very difficult because at the suburbs where I was staying, it is very close to the location where I grew up in. So whenever my mom wanted to see me, she will just come. I then bought another house and I started staying at that house. But this house, it is always empty. The situation is very complex, Brother Nashi. I am torn between the love of my family and the desire to be rich. Yes, having a lot of money has its own advantages. Whenever I think about repenting, then there is this demon that comes to whisper in my ears and it tells me all the good stuff, material stuff that can still be given to me if I am faithful to this Canaanite God that I do serve. This is my own story, Brother Nashi. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our admin, and it was sent to us by one of our dear sisters. Strange things do happen in this world.